Good evening. Here is the world news from our studio BGI TV, Baba Bagere Imo TV. It's another beautiful evening for the world news, and first are the major headlines for the world news. I am yours faithfully, Morire Rebila Lawal. Nnmadi mothers who claim to have lost their children to Lekki toll gates shootings protests. Missing child appeal courts frees Prophet Babatunde of Shoti Church. Illegal invasion. Court awards 52 million naira to Nnamdi Kanu'S lawyer. Navy frees comedian Kanu'S Abiola from detention. Bandit kills 2, kidnap over 50 in Kaduna village attack. 33 guns, other items recovered as NSCDC raids criminal hideout in Imo. Customs sees 7.8 billion naira smuggled charcoal, wood, tomato in Lagos. To foreign, Omicron. State resume testing, demands funds, variant spreads to 23 countries. Still on Omicron. Crude oil drops below $70 as travel ban threatens recovery. And to sports. 30 handball players resume camp ahead of Africa Championship. The news and details. Mothers who claimed to have lost their children to the Lekki toll gates massacre and shootings protest in front of the Lagos State Deputy Governor's residence. Their protesters carried placards to showcase their grievances. In their placards, they wrote official release of panel's findings, resignation, who gave the order, mothers cry, among others.
Justice prevail for every turn of our servant during the endless protest. We want accountability. You will be mandated. You must do it. Forgive the reform and effect the reform that has been issued by the tribunal. Our big someone. We are mothers and we are mourning. There is no peace in the land. And you are calling for the reform of peace. I beg to tell you, if we do not seek justice for our children, no peace shall be in Lagos State. You turned our mourning into night. You turned our joy into sorrow. These other women are cowards. We are not cowards. We are not cowards. We are not cowards. And we will show to you that we are not cowards.
The Court of Appeal sitting in Akure, Ondo State capital, has discharged and acquitted the founder of Shoti Tobire Prison Chapel, Akure, Alpha Babatunde, who was earlier convicted by the State High Court over the missing of a one-year-old boy, Gold Kolawole. Kolawole was abducted in the church in November 2019 by an unknown person during the church service. Defendants were thereafter arrested by the men of the Directorate of State Security and later charged to court on the 2 counts of kidnapping and aiding and abetting the kidnap. The lower court, presided over by Justice Olusegun Odusola, in 2020 sentenced Babatunde and 5 others, Omodara Olayinka, Margaret Oyebola, Grace Ogunjobi, Shogunyobi Moturayo and Esther Kayode to life imprisonment, having found them guilty of 2 charges. However, the High Court judgment was overturned as the appellate judge, Justice Amma Barka, said the circumstantial evidence upon which the lower court based its judgment wasn't enough to convince the appellants.
Yes, the Court of Appeal have decided this matter, and then from the decision of the Court of Appeal, the court has affirmed that the DSS can, as a matter of fact, investigate any case. Does not have a jurisdictional problem in investigation of case. However, the Court of Appeal has stated that the circumstantial evidence upon which the conviction was based upon at the lower court is not enough to sustain the conviction of the defendant and has discharged the defendant. Our attitude from the state is that we study the judgment and take proper steps we're supposed to take.
All right, you
Yes, nǹkan tí ilé ẹjọ́ kòtẹ́milọ́rùn nílùú Àkúrẹ́ sọ ni pé ipò kì í ṣe take a decision.
Convicted for aiding and abetting and conspiracy kidnapping. But today, the Court of Appeal has overturned that judgment. It was held that the appellant was not found culpable of the alleged offense. He is not guilty as pronounced upon by the trial court. So we are using this medium to tell the member of the church and the general public that they should rejoice with conscience. They should not go out causing a problem. We should take it that has been the will of God. We are happy for this.
Five others were actually convicted alongside the prophet. What is their fate now?
Yes, one of the defendants, who is Segun Jobi Motrayo, has equally been discharged. The court said there is no iota of evidence against her, just like the prophet, that they even know about the commission of the offense. The basis was that the prosecution has failed in its authority to prove the element of the alleged offense. The implication of that is that they were convicted wrongly by the lower court. They have been justified by this court of appeal.
All right, sir.
Clients be making any claim, any damages?
We are happy that God has vindicated him. I think that would be all. That should be enough. He is a prophet of God. Like I said, it has been destined that he will walk this way. It is his destiny that he will pass through this challenge. Whatever compensation, monetary compensation that anybody may think that he is entitled to, that may not be enough to justify that he has been vindicated. And that is our solace. Yes. Orúkọ mi ni Akínyẹmí Ọmọrẹ, agbẹjọ́rò fún àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ̀sùn kàn. Yes, ilé ẹjọ́ kòtẹ́milọ́rùn sọ pé ẹjọ́ tí wọ́n dá ní ìsàlẹ̀, wọ́n dá ẹjọ́ yẹn nù pé ẹjọ́ wọn nínú àwọn tí.
Bí wọ́n ṣe sọ wípé wọ́n ṣe dá wọn ẹ̀wọ̀n gbére fún.
Falsehood. You will agree with me that the appellant, the prophet, was convicted for aiding and abetting and conspiracy kidnapping. But today, the Court of Appeal has overturned that judgment. It was held that the appellant was not found culpable of the.
Exactly 2 years after the invasion of his house by security operatives during the burial of his brother in Oraifite, Justice Nnmadi of Federal High Court in Awka, Anambra State, has awarded the sum of 52 million naira in favor of Ifeanyi Ejiofor, lead counsel for the detained leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Justice Dimba found that the security agent grossly violated his fundamental right and consequently awarded the 50 million naira against the police, army, and other security agencies as compensation for the gross violation of his rights. The courts also awarded 2 million naira as cost for the action still against the police and army, cumulatively 52 million naira. AGO4 in a statement issued on Friday titled, "Justice delayed is not always justice denied." The Nigerian Navy has freed online comedian Abdul Ghaffar Ahmed, aka Kanu'S Abiola, from detention. Naval spokesperson Commodore Suleiman Dahun confirmed the development to our correspondent on Friday. Kanu'S Abiola was said to have been missing on Monday, November 15, 2021, when his colleague in the comedy industry, Debo Adedayo, aka Mr. Macaroni, raised the alarm that he was nowhere to be found after reporting at his office in Navy Town, Lagos, that same day. 2 days after the alarm was raised, Down had announced that the funny man wasn't missing but was detained for contravening the military laws by posting a video of himself in military uniform on social media, an act which is said to be in violation of the Armed Forces social media policy. It was added that the comedian failed to show up when called upon to explain himself, but only returned after the expiration of his leave on November 15, 2021, and was put behind bars the same day. Some bandits in early hours of Friday invaded the Nnmadi community in Chikun local government area of Kanu'S State, killing 2 persons, while over 50 members of the community were abducted during the attack. According to a source, the terrorists were said to have stormed the community on Friday, selecting their targets. It was learned that no fewer than 13 members of families were visited by the terrorists. As of time of filing this report, no official has reacted to the attack, which comes barely a week after the state government restored telecommunication network to tackle insecurity in some parts of the state. Nnmadi, located around Sabu, had witnessed a mass exodus of residents from the area following the activities of bandits in the area. Over 60 worshippers of Emmanuel Baptist Church were kidnapped on Sunday, 31st October 2021, during church service. 2 abductees were killed on the spot. 2 others were shot dead later, while 1 was injured and hospitalized. 61 worshippers are being held captive, while the bandits are demanding 99 million naira as a ransom for their release. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has recovered 33 foreign-made semi-automatic guns and 15 gun cleaning kits from a criminal hideout in Imo. The NSCDC commandant in Imo, Michael Oga, disclosed these while addressing newsmen in Owerri on Thursday. Oga listed the items to include 26 double-barrel guns, fire pump actions, 2 sniper rifles, and 15 sets of gun cleaning kits. The commandant said that his officers, acting on credible intelligence on the location of criminals, were able to lay ambush for a few days before invading the hideout and recovering the items. Oga assured Imo residents and indigents intending to return home for the Yuletide of the command's commitment to a hitch-free celebration. He called on residents to help the command overcome the challenge of access to information by providing it with necessary information on the movement and activities of criminals. The Nigerian Customs Service, Lagos State, has confirmed the seizure of smuggled wood, charcoal, raw hideouts, and skin, batteries, cloth, tomato paste, among others in Lagos State. The Coordinator Team A, Controller General of Customs Service, Strike Force, Ahmadu Shahabu, during a briefing on Wednesday said the total duty paid value on the 103 seized items was over 7.8 billion naira. He noted that the anti-smuggling activities of the team and its efforts at preventing evasion of duty by importers between October and November 2021 led to the seizures. You're watching the world news from BGI TV now. Next is foreign stories. State governments have said they will resume and increase mass testing for COVID-19 following the detection of the Omicron variant of the virus in the country. Top government officials in states including Cross River, Benue, Delta, and Akwa Ibom will disclose these in separate interviews with the Punch, however described funding as a major obstacle to community testing. They sought the assistance of the federal government on funding of community testing, particularly running of molecular laboratories. The states made the demand as the World Health Organization said the new variants had spread to 23 countries. Still on Omicron, the crude oil market continues to suffer from the bearish sentiment caused by the new Omicron COVID-19 variant, which has pushed crude oil prices below $70 per barrel. Also, the International Air Transport Association, ITA, Thursday warned that the response of nations to the Omicron COVID-19 variant poses a threat to air transport recovery. Report states that there are fears that obstruction in the oil market would harm Nigeria's economy, which receives huge revenue from oil exports. Nigeria has so far recorded 3 cases of Omicron. Now to sports. Ahead of the 2022 African Men's Handball Championship scheduled to hold in Morocco, all 30 players invited by the technical advisor of the senior men national handball team, Coach Rafiu Salami, have arrived at camp. The 30 players arrived in Abuja for camping after the executive board of the Handball Federation of Nigeria approved the list of players for preparation for the Nations Cup that is ongoing by the 25th edition coming soon. That was the world news from BGR TV, but before we go, a quick retake of the headlines once again. NSAS, mothers who claim to have lost their children to the Lekki tollgate massacre and shootings protests. Missing child, appeal court frees Prophet Babatunde of Shoti Tobire Church. Illegal invasion, court award 52 million naira to Nnmadi lawyer. Navy frees comedian Kanu'S Abiola from detention. Bandit kills 2, kidnap 50 in Kaduna village attack. 33 guns, other items recovered as NSCDC raids criminal hideouts in Imo. Customs seized 7.8 billion naira smuggled charcoal, wood, tomatoes in Lagos. And to foreign, we brought to you Omicron, states resume testing, demand funds, variant spread to 23 countries. Still on Omicron, crude oil drops below $70 as travel ban threatens recovery. And finally, sport headline for the world news, 30 handball players resume camp ahead of Africa Championship. Thank you for watching. It's been a wonderful time knowing you're always there for our broadcast. You can link up on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. On YouTube, the handle is Babagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates of our broadcast. And on Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page for updates as well. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For other placement of your goods and services and products, coverage of event and function, the number you need to call 070-3822-6160. It's going to be a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank God it's Friday. Juma Mubarak to all faithful Muslim brothers and sisters all over the world. Thank you for watching. I am yours faithfully, Morire Rabila Lawal.